The actual name Parkour originates from France with David Bell, him and his friends called the Yamakasi. That was the name of their group at the time. They kind of formed this idea of, being able to move your body in any environment.
Hi, and welcome to Kelly, where we talk about our life, your life and my life. And through Kelly, we hope to inspire. I have Ronnie Shelvis on the show today. And Ronnie specializes in parkour. You have also been able to build your Instagram to a certain level. How many followers do you have?
Well, so on Instagram, I have, I don't know, almost 30,000, but it's YouTube, I have over 1 million followers.
1 million,
so.
I'm so jealous.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's so hard, and shout out to my husband because he does all that. But how were you able? I mean, what was your first burst like? Where you were like, was it in the begining when it wasn't so much of a big deal, or was it a big deal when you got your first burst?
So kind of in the beginning, I'd been doing YouTube videos forever, just like to post my parkour videos for fun, and I also thought it might be a way to promote myself as a stunt performer. When I really started pursuing YouTube hard was when I had an opportunity to work with another YouTuber named Devin Supertramp. And he had a really big channel at the time, still does. A lot of his videos would go viral, like most of them were going viral at that time. So when he asked me to do an Assassin's Creed parkour video with him, which is a video game where...
And what you started doing that and it started giving...
Yeah,
people started following.
Exactly. So I already knew that it was going to be a good opportunity to get seen on YouTube and get growth. And so from there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take YouTube a little bit more seriously so I can get more followers from this video I'm about to do with him. So I started putting more effort into my videos, doing more consistent videos, and that ultimately helped over time, create the amount of followers I have today. And turning it into an actual career, a job I was able to do full time to support a family, which I didn't expect that. Even doing the video, I'm like, oh, this is still just a way to promote myself as a performer. But then eventually I'm like, oh, I'm starting to make decent money on YouTube, so I'm gonna ride this out, see where it goes. And
that is so interesting. So with YouTube, YouTube is like it's kind of like the film industry. It's a networking, and once somebody. Really, YouTubers kind of help each other and have each other on their shows. And do you have other YouTubers on your show?
I've done that in the past. doing YouTube videos.
I'm a YouTuber now.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing now. It's all about collaborating because there's the idea of like competition on YouTube. Like people may have it, but it doesn't really exist. If you are sharing your audience with other people, it's going to grow both of you. There's no and it's all about just the more, and the YouTube algorithms are very interesting. So the more people that are seeing your videos from other places on YouTube will actually boost the algorithms in your favor if it's not just coming from your subscribers. So there's a lot to think about with that, so it's just kind of being aware of the networking and how you can promote each other with different.
Now, what's the difference between YouTube and Instagram? Did a lot of your YouTubers come follow you on Instagram too, or is that a whole different monster?
I'd say it's a different beast, but a lot of my followers did come from YouTube to Instagram. So my Instagram isn't nearly as big as my YouTube following, and I think that was just the nature of I was better at the style of videos that did well on YouTube than how to, optimize Instagram. So I think I relied on YouTube a lot to grow my Instagram following.
Wow, what got you into parkour? And how long have you, did you start later in life or when you were really young?
I started when I was 15, so a little bit later. Growing up, I loved superheroes, especially Spider-Man. He was my favorite superhero. Just watching the way he could move and climb buildings. When the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie came out, I went in my backyard, was trying to jump off things, climb on things, because I wanted to be like Spider-Man. That was before I knew about parkour. And then years later, as I saw these viral parkour videos on the internet, I don't even think YouTube was really a thing yet. I saw people moving like Spider-Man in real life without wires.
So who came up with this?
The actual name Parkour originates from France with David Bell, him and his friends called the Yamakasi. That was the name of their group at the time. They kind of formed this idea of, being able to move your body in any environment, to get from one point to another in the most efficient way possible so that you can be prepared in any situation. His father was a firefighter and in the military, so you had to train on obstacle courses, those types of things. So he took that concept and then just made it its own thing, like the art of escape, the art of moving through a city, things like that. And then it just slowly spread out,
So now that's brought you to the film world, which is my world. What's your purpose? What's your goal?
Yeah, so when I got into parkour, it was initially something I was just passionate about and loved. And then as I got better at it, I realized I could use my skills to be a performer and eventually even be a stuntman like Jackie Chan or, these other parkour athletes like David Bell, the original parkour guy had been in movies. And so I took a lot of inspiration from that and wanted to be a stuntman. I did kind of get sidetracked a bit from YouTube, when I was
because you got to maintain that and that's tough.
Yeah, so I had a lot of fun actually doing kind of my own creative content on YouTube, because when you're just performing for something else, you're doing whatever someone else's vision is. So on YouTube, it's kind of your own vision. You create whatever you want to do.
Right.
And but over time, I would get lots of opportunities through my exposure on YouTube to do commercial work for like car companies and real estate companies in China, just random things like that, where parkour was really popular, so people loved using it to promote their different products. And then over time, I still had this itch, like I want to do stunts, I want to be, and I had made friends in Utah who were all stuntmen and getting into that field, and so we would train together, and so I really started putting more time and thought into that. And that's what eventually led me to moving here to Atlanta to just pursue.
So you've moved here. You've now have brought your wife and your children.
Yep.
Do you think the move, because we're in the pandemic right now, so it's hard to say. This last year, most of us feel like it's a waste. And not a waste. I mean, we've been able to reflect and we've been able to grow and we've been able, but in a different way. Do you feel like it's going to pay off? Obviously, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I think so for myself. I mean, career-wise, it's been, not a lot of progress, but I feel like I've been able to take a lot of time to myself, to work on myself and the way, like I had a lot of social anxiety as a kid, a lot of low self-esteem, and learning parkour and things like that kind of helped improve that. But I'm always, in the past, I'd always have moments of being insecure about myself. And I feel like this year I've really had that time to be like, okay, where does that come from? How can I overcome that? And
you know where it comes from? From being a human being.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone deals with that to an extent,
Yeah, but true. We've got to get over ourselves. In order to move to where we need to be, we've got to get over ourselves. That's our biggest obstacle, really.
It's true.
Because we let all these little things, we let the things that people say about us, really, we internalize it and keep it, and really we should just be throwing it back out. How in Atlanta, how do you feel with the people? Just curious. Are we nice?
Everyone I've met so far in Atlanta has been great. I've mainly been meeting stunt people.
Yeah.
Those are the circles I've been with, but yeah, everyone I have met have been wonderful people. I've never, since I've been here, I've never even ran into an issue with anybody I know.
We so far we have a really, I think, friendly, as long as you're working your butt off, people are really friendly and they let you in. So welcome to Atlanta.
Yeah, well,
I hope you grow and do everything that you've ever wanted to do. If people want to follow you on your platforms, where do they follow you?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is called Ronnie Street Stunts. Same name for Instagram, and those are the main things you can follow me on. And
so if you have to go back to, let's say, a 15-year-old, and you have to tell them they want to be where you are, what advice? What's the biggest thing that you're going to tell them, whether it be endurance or what did they have to do to get to where you are right now?
Yeah. So
you still want to go further, so you know it's like.
Yeah, getting to where I have gotten, it's a lot of it has been through unexpected ways. So it's really keeping an open mind to the opportunities you might not be aware of. It's like you can train really hard, become one of the best parkour athletes, but you may not get the same opportunities if you don't know how to find them or look for them or meet the right people. So a big part of that for me was actually getting out of my anxiety bubble and being willing to meet people and, you know, go network and make friends with people, not just be inauthentic about it, like, oh, I'm just here to try and get a job, but I actually like people once I get to know them and be friends with them. And you know, it's through those types of interactions I've found that have helped me the most, was not necessarily through my own efforts, but through all the people around me, combined with, you know, me just being consistent with the work I'm putting out and training and things like that. So it's just kind of trying to have that overarching view.
Yeah, you know, the thing that I think about the most when I think about us and the things that we're trying to do, in the heart of us, we're fighters, and if you have a dream, you really have to fight for it every day. You have to wake up fighting for it and wanting it and visualizing it and moving towards it, because we can sing the best in the shower, we can be the best singer in the shower, but unless we're willing to put ourselves out there. And you know, people don't often realize that putting ourselves out there is painful for us. It is. It's painful because we're putting ourselves on the line. We're putting ourselves in the face of everybody, ripping ourselves open to be judged, and wanting this to be. We just enjoy torture, is what I think. it is.
I feel like the first time we're putting our creativity out there, expressing ourselves, it's like being a raw nerve to the world. You know, just it's so easy to be very sensitive to it. So there is definitely, I think, an element of also just being tough to it, you know, that you can put yourself out there and just, you know, not let it get to you, which is a hard thing to do, you know, but it's if you can do that, it makes life so much easier to just do what you want to do and pursue it.
Well, welcome to Atlanta.
Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us. I hope that you're able to grow and do all the things that you want to do, and I hope you take some people with you. And guys, we hope that this segment educated and inspired you.